Was
Yeah,
it?
I've just sat and listened for the past year about all this and how everybody's been talking about me. And I just want to say I'm not that person. I've made mistakes just like everybody else in the world, and I feel bad about everything. So, that being said, I really don't know what I did to deserve all of this, but I'm here and I'm trying to deal with it. So,
Andy's okay with that. I'd definitely like to ask a couple of questions.
yeah, run with it.
Okay. Uh, how about let's start with how about maybe a couple of days before Summer went missing? Did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not really. I mean, the tree cutters had been in and out. And, uh, that Jackie Dobbs dude, he was down there the day before, but other than that, no, not really.
Know that when God asked you if anything was strange, and you said, well, the tree cutters were there and all that, but you said, but people, there's a lot of traffic anyway. Did you mean there's a lot of traffic in that area just on a routine basis? Or did you mean just with all the tree cutters or?
There's always somebody in and out there. There's quite a few people that live in there and are in and out. I
Oh,
mean,
I got you. So it wasn't like anything unusual. It wasn't like nothing stood out to you, like there was more traffic than usual or less or anything. It was just a normal couple days before,
just
aside from the whole Dobbs thing.
yeah, just the tree cutters. That's about the only difference than what they usually was.
So what you have tonight is Scott bringing up my name, my children, to Monster, and bringing up Fred at the same time, and trying to lead Monster into helping target our fucking kid with the Fred shit. And you've got Monster over here who has no idea what the fuck and where the fuck and how the fuck anything's happened. Doesn't even know what the fuck time he got in. Not correct. How many days he searched. Nothing. Because he wasn't. I just can't let him dig his own hole. But clearly answering shit that Scott, knowing Monster can't be speaking about us or my children. It's already been a goddamn terrifying day for my daughter. Over here mentioning my son and daughter, and then Fred and this, trying to basically lead Monster into the targeting of our son further. The shit. It's funny. It's real funny. Real funny. Yeah. Notice they're mentioning Fred right before they start mentioning my son and my daughter to him, and clearly mentioning me by name, and asking if my kids were ever over there where they were. So Scott's trying to get Andy to target my son and my daughter. Asking where they were. And Andy's.
Um, on the 15th, uh, did you go to work that day?
On the 15th,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Where you don't have to tell exactly where you worked at, but what city did you work in?
Kingsport.
Okay. So you had a little bit of a drive, but not too far to get to work. What time you usually head out in the morning?
I'm pretty sure. Actually, I've got messages on that I had somebody send me that had them, and I was on my way at 8:05 or something like that, on my way to work, running late.
Okay. So you was running late, but it was still, fairly early, 8:05. So that would have getting to Kingsport though, you'd probably got at work, what, 8:30?
It takes about 25, 28, 32 minutes, depending on traffic and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Did you leave any time from work that day, lunch or anything?
Don't believe so. Pretty much, once you was there, you was stuck there. It never slowed down. It's one of the
Okay.
busiest places in Kingsport.
Okay. What about quitting time? Do you have a regular quitting time, or was it just depending on when you got done with the job, or did you quit at, 5 o'clock and go home and then pick up the next morning, or did you have to stay and finish the job out?
Stay and finish out what we had in the bays already. So I
Okay.
think we got off. I'm pretty sure I left there somewhere around 5:45, somewhere in there.
Okay.
I'd have been getting off about, I think I messaged her or something like that at 6 something, 6:05, something like that. But it takes, depending on what I had to do and come home, I'm pretty sure I was there about 6:20 something, 6:30 or something that evening.
Now, do you come straight home or stop by the
Yeah,
beer store or Taco Bell or anything, or did you just come on in like a regular day?
that day I'm pretty sure I came on in because I hadn't heard from anybody, so I just went on in.
Okay. Um, that actually makes a lot of sense.
I'd like to ask a question real quick about the tree trimmers. Did any of them drive their own vehicles that day? Do you know?
I can't remember honestly.
Okay. That's been one of the questions we've all wondered, if any of them drove
Well,
their
Scott asked if they had drove any of their personal vehicles. Uh,
I
I
stepped
told
out.
him that, yeah, I told him that sometimes they did, I think, sometimes they didn't. I know I'd seen some strange vehicles in there that didn't belong, but I figured it was probably them.
Yeah, I know
I'm
around
wearing my shit again. Not an accident. Not on a holiday. Yeah, and it doesn't matter. So, it's just whatever. It's just whatever, right? So either I make another call tonight, but it won't matter after what goes in tomorrow and what we were told will be done. So, or today rather, and it doesn't matter. So, it's just whatever. It's just whatever, right? So either I make another call tonight, but it won't matter after what goes in tomorrow and what we were told will be done. So, or today rather.
When so you would have got in probably 6:15, 6:30, something like that.
Somewhere probably between that. Seems like I remember the time being like 6:20 something. I don't know why, but it seems like I remember it being like 6:20 something, 6:30 something. I got there that evening. And
Okay.
then I rolled into the 15th. So
Okay. So that was June 15th. That's almost the longest day of the year. So it stays dark to like stays daylight to like 9:15, right?
Yeah.
sounds like right? It sounds like that. So okay.
Right. Well, it stays light for a long time in the
Yeah,
summertime.
yeah.
Okay. So when you're
It didn't get
rolling in
dark
there,
night till 9:30 almost.
right? You're rolling in there at 6:30, let's say. So it's still broad daylight.
Thing that Fred said that he saw you there. What does that say?
It would have honestly had to be the day before. Honestly.
Well,
I mean, it had to be the day before or a day or two after or something.
well, it seems
I
like
don't know. I don't understand what his MO is. So I don't. Me and him had words a day or two before that or a day or two after that because I was sitting in the road swapping vehicles because the Kia wouldn't go up the hill. And he come in, about took the door off the Kia, and I told him he needed to slow the hell down.
and that's what he was saying. That's what he was explaining. Like,
I'm pretty sure I was off for like a day or two after Summer went missing. So,
yeah.
I can't really.
But he's clearly has no idea what the fuck, because to me, brain cells are burnt. Times don't make sense. Nothing else makes sense. Let him dig his own fucking hole. I don't care, because I don't think he's quite used to YouTube and how this is gonna work. And I told you all this is what. It's fine. It's fine. But Scott, who he's been working in the background with for months, Piper, Jan, all them since this order was first put in, he's been talking to and all this shit. Now I've brought out Monster to do what Monster's supposed to do, right? Continue to trigger me, abuse me while he jerks off, gets money. And you know his whole story right now is in all this shit. Now I've brought out Monster to do what Monster's supposed to do, right? Continue to trigger me, abuse me while he jerks off, gets money. And you know his whole story right now is he needs money for a camper because his parents have evicted him from all properties, right? That's his parents he's at. It was his parents he was fucking at earlier in the yard. But yeah, sure.
You get home, it's daylight, law comes in behind you. What did you see when you pulled in? Was there people around? I mean, and I'm just going to say this because this person puts themselves at the place. From our understanding, the boys, the Wells boys, not yours, the Wells boys, Jodiesue, Candace, was around there hollering for Summer and searching. Did you notice that kind of activity when you came in? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, did you
Yeah,
notice?
I've seen the boys when I came in and stuff.
You what?
I seen the boys and stuff when I came in, and people out looking and hollering and stuff like that. And that's when I was informed of Summer being missing.
That's when you found out Summer was gone. When you got home from work that day.
Yeah.
Okay. And the law piles right in behind you sometime. I'm sure when you got home and seen everybody searching, you probably wasn't paying attention to your watch after that. What did you do?
Now, what was that? I was reading a comment.
Oh, okay. Like you come in and the law comes in shortly after you come in, you find out that your neighbor's little girl's missing. Everybody's searching around. You're probably not paying a whole lot of attention to what time it is, but what did you do when you seen all that ruckus going on?
Took my car and parked it and started looking.
Did you see Dawn? Did you see Candace?
I think I seen Candace. I think Dawn pulled in pretty much right after me. So, I mean, I just don't remember stuff like that all the time. I do not.
Right. Do you remember, like, how long did you all, like when the law come in behind you, did you all stop searching or did you keep searching until all the search and rescue teams got there?
I was still looking around up at my house and I think I made a loop up around the Wellses and back over toward the back side. I've lived down there my whole life. So, I mean, when I was a kid, I wandered around everywhere down there.
Evicted from all properties needs camper. Okay. Whatever. Evicted from all properties needs camper. Okay. Whatever. Been doing this shit in the background since last fall with them. I know he fucked around, was flirting with the one, whatever, but like he always does. But we knew about it. We let it go.
Everything like that. Ain't nobody ever messed with us. And it's been girls, boys, 5 to, well, now. So,
Right. As soon as they're big enough to walk, they're out there doing stuff.
yeah,
Right.
everybody down there has.
So everybody was kind of I'm trying to figure out, when did the point of the people thinking that she had been abducted, when did that come up?
Pretty much later on that evening, when nobody had found her, nobody had seen her, and that's kind of like, well, what the hell's went on? So, I mean, I wasn't thinking that, somebody had snatched her up. I figured maybe she had wandered off into the woods playing, or the boys had, they had wandered off playing or something, maybe left her behind and she got lost, or,
Right.
I mean, that is what you would think. That would be where your mind would go first.
Well, I mean, shit, how many times have y'all been playing with your cousins out running around in the field or something and just duck behind a tree and just let them squeal for a minute? Where you at? Where you at?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, they've left us. Where'd they go?
The way from going by the news, it sounds like they got stuff down there pretty quick, like the TBI and the FBI and the helicopters and drones.
Oh yeah, everybody showed up pretty quick. It was a pretty good, being that far out into the middle of pretty much nowhere. It's like 45 minutes from Roswell to, 125, 110, all that. Unless they come through the gap from like Churchill, and then it's still about 30 minutes. So,
right.
And then for months and months, he's been fucking around in the background with them. Driving by them. I mean, all this shit, man. All this shit. My daughter is fucking terrified today. Tonight, I just don't know, man. In the first few minutes, Scott, to make sure to mention mine and the children and by name and shit, and then try to pull the Fred shit. That way, they can target my son some more. It's lovely. It's real lovely.
there's pieces blocked out.
Hold on.
I can't explain this in the holler. You couldn't get in. I don't even know if my mom come down there and tried or not, but I think I'd left my wallet down there one day or left it in the house and didn't have it. And they about didn't let me back in. I had mail saying the address.
So they were keeping it. They were keeping things pretty tight then. When you get in there, are you able to turn down Ben Hill Road, or is Beach Creek blocked?
Seems like I got stopped at the end of the road that day by somebody. I don't know if it was, I can't really remember who it is. But somebody was out there at the end of the road and they was out looking around and stuff like that. So I can't really remember who the first person I ran into was.
Was the law down there yet?
I'm pretty sure they showed up right after me or about
at that time. As far as you guys, did your boy and daughter come down? Was they helping to search too?
I don't think I seen them till I got toward the house. I think she had told them to stay there. I can't remember.
Okay. Okay. So at that point in time, you all was thinking that she was lost. Everybody.
I really honestly didn't know,
Okay.
because years and years that I've lived down there, and years and years and years that I've run those roads and that holler and back through them cuts to my cousins' houses and everything like that, ain't nobody ever messed with us.
A while where you wouldn't have been seen in the holler.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't staying in the holler because that's where she was at. I didn't stay in the holler. I never returned to the holler after I mean, I might have been gone. I really don't talk to Fred. He's family, but it's not pretty much a pretty good job, but I don't know. I don't, it's not my job to say.
Did they come up and search your land?
Yeah, pretty much I was across that thing for about 5 days, every day for 5 days. I know for the first 3 days they was through there. I mean, it was just like a grid search.
So they covered, like, if you're coming up.
Nobody ever told them they couldn't search their property.
Okay. So you get up the next day. You said you took a couple of days off. What'd you do that next day when you got up? What was the atmosphere on Ben Hill Road like?
Pretty gloom. Everybody's still kind of looking around, just seeing. So, I mean,
Didn't notice anything odd or anything?
no, not really, because they wasn't nobody in and out for like 5 days. If you didn't have an address in there, you wasn't in and out. Now, I'm pretty sure the tree people was in and out for the next few days, but other than that, I don't.
Fred says he does say that you took like 3 days off, and you and Jodiesue sat down at the bottom of your all's driveway and was just, I guess watching and just, paying attention to the searchers. Probably the same thing I would do. But then Fred says you took up and left and was gone for like 3 weeks. Is there any?
No, wait, hold up. Okay, she got gone on June 15th, and he says a few days after that, I was gone for a few weeks and came back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't really remember taking and running off about that time. That could have been about the time that I was trying to leave.
Okay. Did you go somewhere and stay somewhere else for a while where you wouldn't have been seen in the holler?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't staying in the holler because that's where she was at. I didn't stay in the holler. I never returned to the holler after I left. And when I left, I didn't go back till after like September the 6th when the order of protection was put in.
Do you remember what day it was you left?
No, not to be honest. I don't exactly remember because I'd left either a few weeks before summer got gone, or I can't remember if I left after that. I can't explain. There's bits, pieces blocked out that I can't explain.
Right.
I mean, I was trying to leave for a while there. So I mean, I might have been gone. I might not have. He might just not have seen me.
I understand.
Because I really don't talk to Fred. He's family, but it's not that family. I don't know if I've said anything. I'll probably catch backlash. It don't matter, but
It's your story.
Yeah.
And
It's
no
that's
matter,
what I wanted to know is what your perspective before Summer went missing, the day she went missing, and a couple of days after she went missing to see if there was anything that stood out in your mind from anybody that wasn't right. That's
I mean,
where
the
I'm going
only
to come
thing
into
that
this.
really just cockeyed was just the stuff the day before with the Dobbs guy. That's just this. I mean, that's the only thing that really happened in there.
Okay. What was your relationship with Dawn and Candace? Was y'all drinking buddies, working buddies? Did you hang out on the weekends and grill out?
No, they called me and harassed me over a couple grams of pot every now and then. That's about it.
But y'all didn't have like, hang out on the weekends or after work or whatever?
No,
hey,
he
Dan,
actually offered. He actually offered me a job at one point in time, and I'd heard too much bad stuff about him at that point in time about jobs and working with him, how he paid people, and I don't like those people. So I'm sorry.
Then, somebody please explain to me how he was there the day before with Dobbs. Or, after, while the searches were going on, he just talked about being part of. And then also said they only went on for 4 or 5 days. Dude, they went on for weeks. Weeks, 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 weeks. Hell, they were still happening when I left there. And he was there for weeks and weeks after Summer vanished. It's. Oh boy. Goes back into his earlier lie that he told Coleslaw that he was already gone before June, but he actually wasn't. He was there every fucking day.
well,
I know.
Talk to me about that. What do you mean you'd heard from too many people about him? What do you mean? Talk to me about that.
Well, I mean, if you run off and go smoke crack, I don't necessarily want nothing to do with you.
Have you
I
seen
mean,
that happen?
what? Him disappear for a week or a day or a month or 6 months or
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's happened.
Was it a once a year thing, once a month thing, every weekend thing?
Not every weekend. No, I don't know how often it happened. I wasn't friends with them. I didn't go over there hang out, so I don't know. I know sporadically she would message and say, "Hey, can you pick this up at the store? Can you get cigarettes? Can you get liquor? Can you get this? Bring it over here." So that
I don't know. Well, there was something like kind of early on that just really turned you off to them in general, like just made you like, yeah, I can't be around these people. But it was with their, um,
what them fighting over the chicken noodle soup.
yeah, I didn't know if
Yeah,
they it or
the
not. So
two older boys fighting over one bowl of chicken noodle soup with a fork. Yeah, that's some fucked up shit. Excuse my language.
So that was true then. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's pitiful.
Well, I mean, I'm sure everybody has their opinion of me at this point in time, but I smoke my pot. I try to keep to myself. That's it. So I go to work. I get up. I come home. That's it.
yeah,
They wasn't no They wasn't no parking lot people. They wasn't no uh, dope. They wasn't no cheating. So I mean that I don't.
I was really surprised.
Now, you said you and Fred didn't get along.
I didn't say we
Did
didn't get along. I just said it wasn't a relationship that we hung out or nothing like that. We was family.
okay. Okay.
I mean,
So you got along, you just didn't hang out with each other.
we didn't hang out enough to get along. So it wasn't one of them situations. He was my cousin. I knew him as a kid. We probably hung out as kids. Once I got older, we didn't hang out. So, I mean, that's
Right. Okay.
we go separate ways. People, I guess you could
What
say I'm
did
kind of weird when it comes to some people, and it's just one of them things.
I was there every fucking day. But now suddenly here. Oh dear. I mean, he really just caught his own. I mean, like, seriously. Told him he was in there for all those days to search, and it was only 4 or 5 days. So, right. And then he was in there the day before cussing Fred, but now he suddenly makes it to where he wasn't in there for weeks before. And this is how they're going to set the monster off. Because you know exactly what they're going to do with this. There's so many goddamn inconsistencies with his shit, and he doesn't know anything. He wasn't there, wasn't present in our lives, worked until X amount of time at night. Hell, even the messages from him show he couldn't have been in there when he said he was in there or when he got off. His messages clearly show he got off later than that. And now he's saying he was gone for weeks before and weeks after, but somehow he's present for that day. He's somehow present for this, somehow present for that, but also simultaneously not in there for weeks prior and weeks after maybe, and he doesn't really remember.
you have any idea of knowing what Fred thought about Don and Candace?
Now what? You cut out.
I said, do you have any way of knowing what Fred thought about Don and Candace?
No. I mean, there a couple of days he stopped and talked to me after all that went on. I was swapping cars or going in or out or something like that. He stopped down there and talked to me a day or two after that, I guess, try to see what was going on. I don't. It had been the first time he had stopped and talked to me in I don't know how long. I couldn't put a timeline on it because I don't know when the last time I talked to him at that point in time was, and having a conversation.
And that was Fred. Right. So you didn't notice anything. Nobody had a beef with Don and Candace around there that you knew of or anything?
Like I said, I don't know them well enough to know who had beefs with them and who didn't.
Right.
I mean, I'd heard people talk about them and stuff like that and say stuff, but I didn't deal with them enough to be on a friend level. I was a neighbor.
Either answer or not on this one. I'm interested, of course, but there's a lot of people that don't like to talk about. What do you think happened to Summer? Because the law says everything's on the table. Now, everything includes her walking away, getting lost, and y'all just ain't found her yet. That's abduction.
I mean, let me add this in there before you finish up.
Okay.
If she was in there, I'm pretty sure that they would have found her by now.
This is how they'll end up setting this motherfucker off. See lies though. Hell, he's standing at place he's telling you all he's evicted from. But he needs money for a camper. Yeah, he's not a liar or anything, right? How was he in there the day before with me leaving to find dogs there? Or how about on videos I've posted of him there in the days after, including months after? Months after Summer vanished. Almost 2 months, I guess. Yeah, almost 2 months after. He was still there and clearly in the car with us. Clearly in the car with I and my daughter. On video. Almost 2 months after Summer vanished.
I'm like you, if I personally, I think if it was an animal, the dogs would have found something. I think as many people and manpower and planes and radar and stuff that they had, I'm kind of like you. I think they would have found her. So that leaves her getting gone either by somebody took her or there was an accident up on 110 and they had to get rid of her. Because they had to be kids don't disappear into thin air. You know what I mean?
They don't vanish.
So somebody had to be involved. It took a person. If it wasn't her walking off and it wasn't an animal, then that means another human being did something or played a role in her disappearing. What would you lean towards?
Well, I mean, it really wasn't. It don't seem like it was an animal attacking. It don't seem like she wandered off. So, I mean, somebody had to take her, seems like, or something had to happen and they had to, well, panic ensued. So, I mean,
Right.
somebody's got to know something. And why they won't just say it, well, at this point, they don't want to go to jail. So, but I don't.
He's helping Scott target my son, my daughter, and I. But he's also somehow simultaneously in there for what he says are 4 or 5 days of searching. Not true. They searched for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Even until we moved out of there, they were still searching. That was months after Summer vanished. And he doesn't know shit because he didn't care and he didn't pay attention. He don't give no fucks. He's here to make money for something he's lying to you about and to get off on tormenting and abusing us behind a screen and trying to wrap it up with the bread shit targeting my son. The same people who have worked since the order of protection went in to tape him, to call him, to pull him out, are right here on panels with him, except for one's missing, the initial one. And the first post this morning, and all the bullshit, doing it again, and immediately mentioning my children and myself to him, and trying to wrap it up with the Fred shit to target my children. And he ain't a dumbass, he knows what the fuck they're doing. And they know what they're doing.
Right.
I have a great question. There's a rumor going around that Jose, the Mexican man that passed away, was up on John and Candace's property the week before Summer went missing. Do you know anything about that, if that's true?
I mean, I don't know when. I seen him over there. Yeah. But I don't know exactly. I can't tell you exactly when it was.
I mean, do you think it was like that week, or do you think it was like a couple months before? Because
Glitter Girl or something. Where's it at? I seen it. Something about the pill accusations. I didn't sell pills to them. I didn't give them sedatives. Uh, I mean, that's stupid. And I didn't even give the kids weed. I mean, it's not in '09 before I got in trouble. I wouldn't even sell to underage people, so it don't matter.
Okay.
I mean, they're not old enough to understand. They're not old enough to make the decision. It don't need to be done. And I mean, I wouldn't give my kids nothing. So
Thank you.
But it wasn't that. It was another one with a Janish literature. Originally got the recordings of him, and was talking to him for forever, and then got all this shit on him, and then Piper was there in the mix, and Green Eyes and BK, which is with TMs, the same shit, right? Because I quote, "He's our weakness besides my children." Right? So I guess it's just more to add to the shit tomorrow that goes in. That's why he still torment me on goddamn holidays wearing my shirt. Sick ass bullshit. Narcopath 101, dude. Abuser 101. Every goddamn holiday. Every goddamn holiday, dude. Every goddamn. Oh, whatever. Every goddamn holiday, dude. Every goddamn. Every goddamn holiday, dude. Every goddamn.
yeah, while I'm on here, uh, why can't I get some people to do some donations to my Cash App? It's on my channel. Look at you laughing. Don't laugh at me.
Out
And
section.
camper fund. I'm trying to get the hell out of here.
He does. He wants to get out of there, away from all of that. With
At least for a little bit. At
yeah,
least for a little bit.
let some time pass. People will hopefully calm down, and you can maybe spend some time with the family eventually. Your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
You took
I got to talk to a lawyer tomorrow, and I figure there's another
Telling that
protection order coming.
we're telling that right now. Let's not talk about that, Andy.
I'm pretty sure it was not a good environment over there. I mean, every now and then you hear them fussing. Every now and I mean, but I mean, I was never there and witnessed no abuse other than the fighting over the chicken noodle soup thing, and mainly sometimes a little girl running around naked when she shouldn't have been. But
Yeah, you mentioned that. The little Summer would run around. She was old enough where she should have had clothes on.
should have had clothes on, especially with three brothers like that. Yeah,
We'll see. No, not a bit better than last year. Some are still missing. This motherfucker still abusing us. I'm just not wearing fucking bruises. Half the world's joined him and made sure he can be pulled out to gain money off of Summer as they watch him jerk off and abuse us as they abuse us too. Just not wearing bruises. That's it. Just not wearing bruises. That's it. last July 4th, though. You know where it was? Missed the fireworks then, too. But it's because I was looking for somewhere with spotlights during the night. Told police, kept them on video, went looking for somewhere at a spot because of a thing that had happened, and went out with spotlights looking for her. Last July 4th. That's what it was. I slowed video down, figured out what spot I needed to be looking for, headed for it, and played rock, paper, scissors with that motherfucker because of his weak ass stomach to see who would look with all the buzzards and this other little law that there'd been. And smells fucking overpowering that night, you know, without the spotlights. And this motherfucker over here saying he was gone weeks before and weeks after, and he don't know, but he was, but he wasn't. And helping Scott target my fucking kids and pull the Fred shit and whatever, man. Whatever. He knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, I know.
Well, here's the thing. Ronnie Lawson and the TBI and the FBI called the scream unfounded as far as little Summer going missing. And that's why there's so much controversy about the scream, is because the scream was said to have happened, and it was even reported on the news, but it was followed up with Ronnie Lawson saying that his officers, the TBI and the FBI, have interviewed them several times, and they find it to be unfounded, which means there is no basis in fact. So the law enforcement doesn't believe that it happened. What do you say to that?
I don't know where to go. How to speak about that.
Okay. It's fair.
Now, see, I don't know why my children would have a reason to lie to me, and they told me basically kind of the same thing. They all told me, all three of them told me about the same thing or the same thing. So I don't see why they'd lie. But saying that too, a lot of the other stuff that had been said, I don't know. I ain't trying to get in trouble here on this.
I understand. If we need to wait a few weeks before you answer that, we understand, at least here on the panel, and backstage, we understand why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like jail.
I have another question.
But mainly, I guess the point I was getting at is you didn't hear about a scream until you got home later on that evening, because you didn't even know Summer Wells was missing until you got home that evening.
Yeah, I didn't know she was missing until I came home. There wasn't no text saying that she was missing. I left work and all assumptions of coming home, and probably ended up having to go right back out to get dinner or something.
Fred Hill, and is Fred Hill trustworthy in his opinion? Is Fred Hill trustworthy in his opinion? Question mark.
I think I'm going to do about like everybody else on that one for right now. I'm going to bow out on that. I'm not going to
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to come between family like that too. It's
That previously, well, from what Piper has relayed to me, I'll say that. So a lot of the people that aren't listening here, that are listening here, won't know. Uh, Frank Light, did he ever come and visit you guys at 125, or do you know if he ever came over to your parents at the 162 property or where they live now, or at 110? Did you ever see him in the area?
No, no. I didn't talk to Frank Light.
What's your
I needed to have words with Fred the day before. I don't know what the fuck kind of lying this boy's doing over there. I don't care either. He and Fred were just fine in the road the next few days. The fuck? Whatever, dude. Whatever. But yeah, they don't like each other, but yeah. Whatever. And Scott knows what he's doing, mentioning myself and my children on that panel. So does Andy, who behind the scenes has been fucking around with these motherfuckers since this shit was first put in place last year. Yeah, Boston, they're doing that to butter him up, to lick his ass like they've been doing all these months behind the scenes. They're cultivating. And when it goes bad, very bad, and you know how this place ends up, and what they're gonna do, he's gonna lose his shit.
Last time you saw Summer before she went missing on June 15th.
I think it was the Sunday before the 15th.
the
Was it
Sunday
Sunday,
before?
Sunday or Monday, somewhere in there.
Yeah, was the 15th on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody asked, did you ever see the red truck?
I seen a red truck, but I didn't see the red truck down there.
Okay. Somebody wants to know if you know of anyone else is selling or giving kids pills.
I didn't hang out over there enough to find out who was doing what over there.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just scrolling through. Did you ever hear or see anybody creeping around your house at night?
There at one point in time when I was going to Knoxville working, seems like I ended up not going or not coming or coming back or something early. And yeah, there was somebody standing outside a window there one night. I chased them off the hill, but I don't know where in the hell they went.
Could you tell who it was?
Honest to God, it kind of looked like Donnie's face, or it could have been like another dude that I know that lived down in there at about the same time. But I don't.
You
They
can't
got
say
gone
for
awful
sure.
fast. Yeah, I didn't catch him, so I don't know.
That's creepy.
And, somebody was asking, I guess, if Coleslaw was pregnant or something, or if I'm going to be a new daddy or something. No, I'm not going to be a new
I'm
daddy.
hoping after tomorrow, there won't be any more of that. So why have to worry about that? Why have to worry about it for a while, anyway. And it'll at least keep us and the public and everybody else around it motherfuckers safe. That's all I can hope for. But that's what was told to me tonight would happen, so we'll see.